Flush, rinse, drain. The water leaves and you stop thinking about it. But in most homes without a city sewer, it does not go far. A few feet past the wall, it slides into a buried box about the size of a car. No pumps, no power, no moving parts. Just water, gravity, and a quiet crowd of bacteria. Let us slice that box open and watch one flush find its way back to clean. Everything that goes down a drain ends up here: the toilet, the shower, the kitchen sink, the washing machine. It all joins one pipe that leaves the house and tilts gently downhill. There is no pressure pushing it along. Gravity does the work, a small drop over every foot of pipe. The water arrives at the tank slow and calm, and the moment it stops rushing, the real trick of a septic system can finally begin. The tank is a sealed box, usually concrete, holding around 1,000 gallons. It stays full all the time, so when new water flows in one end, an equal amount is pushed out the other. Inside, everything slows to a crawl. A single drop may rest here for 2 or 3 days. That stillness is the whole point. Given time and quiet, the messy mix of water and waste begins to sort itself all on its own into layers. With nothing stirring it, gravity pulls the contents apart by weight. The heavy bits sink, the light bits float. The water stays in the middle. Within a few hours, the tank settles into 3 clear bands: a crust on top, a clear layer in the center, a dark sludge across the floor. It is the same thing that happens to oil and water left alone in a glass. Let us look at each band from the top down. On the surface floats the scum. Grease, oils, fats, soap, and anything lighter than water rise up and gather here. Together they form a soft floating lid across the top of the tank. This layer is doing a job. It seals the surface from the air, and it traps the floating waste so none of it can sneak toward the exit. Over months, the crust thickens. That is one reason a septic tank must eventually be pumped out. At the bottom lies the sludge. Solids that are heavier than water, the things that sink, drift slowly down and pile up on the floor of the tank. This is the heaviest waste, settling out the way silt settles to the bottom of a still pond. The sludge layer grows a little thicker year after year. It must stay below the outlet, or solids will escape. Between the floating scum and the sinking sludge sits the part that leaves. In the middle is the clear layer, called effluent. It is not clean and it is not safe to touch, but it is mostly water with the heavy solids dropped below it and the greasy scum lifted above it. This is the only part meant to leave the tank. The whole design exists to protect this middle band, to keep the floating crust and the settled sludge from mixing back in, and the tank guards it with 2 simple walls. At each end hangs a baffle, a short wall or pipe that dips below the surface. The inlet baffle takes incoming water and aims it downward, so a fresh flush does not blast across the tank and stir up the layers. The outlet baffle reaches down past the floating scum and draws only from the clear middle band. Together they work like careful straws. They make sure that what leaves the tank is the cleanest water inside it. While the layers sit, something is eating. The tank is packed with bacteria that thrive without air, the same kind found deep in marsh mud. They feed on the sludge and the scum, breaking the solids down into water, gases, and a smaller residue. This is why the tank does not simply fill with waste in a single year. Living things are quietly digesting it. They cannot eat everything, but they shrink the pile, slowly, every single day. Each time water enters, the same amount of effluent slips past the outlet, baffle, and outer pipe. It flows to the drain field, a set of perforated pipes buried in long, gravel-filled trenches across the yard. The water seeps from the holes, trickles through the gravel, and sinks into the soil below. The tank has done the rough work. Now the ground itself takes over for the final, and most important, step of all. Soil is a living filter. As the effluent trickles down through it, the dirt strains out fine particles, and a thin film of microbes coats the soil grains and feeds on the rest. Harmful bacteria and leftover nutrients are caught, broken down, or absorbed. By the time the water has sunk a few feet, It is clean enough to rejoin the groundwater far below. The earth finishes the job the tank began, with no machinery at all. So follow one flush. It leaves the house and slides downhill into the buried tank. There it slows, and gravity sorts it into 3 layers: scum floating, sludge sinking, clear water between. Baffles guide the flow and protect that middle band. Bacteria digest the solids and shrink them. The clear effluent slips out to the drain field, trickles through the gravel, and the soil filters it clean. Water, gravity, and microbes. No pumps, no power, just patience. It is strange to think a whole sewage plant can hide under a lawn, running on nothing but the pull of gravity and the work of unseen life. No switches, no noise, just a quiet box doing the same slow job every hour of every day. The next time a drain gurgles, you will know exactly where the water is going and the patient little world that waits there to meet it. Thanks for watching The Cutaway.